And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Macroscope. This is a game in which you're going to have a device that's going to show you a picture, and you're going to be looking at that picture through these holes, but the holes will be covered up, and as the game goes by, you're going to take those off and look through the holes and try to figure out what the picture is. Now that's a pretty cool concept. I really like the idea. This company, Game Factory here, they've done some pretty cool games in the past, Giraffometer and stuff, and so I was very curious to see this one. I like these kind of cool concepts. I like the idea of guessing something, and as you know, I've seen these things before where stuff slowly is appearing. I really enjoy that kind of puzzle, so I was very actually excited about this one. Let's take a look. The goal of this game is to get the most points. Players are going to start with 2 of these points at the beginning of the game. And the game takes place over 10 rounds. Each round is going to have a picture. Now, these discs are placed in here randomly on top of the picture, and on a player's turn, they're going to roll 2 dice, and they're going to remove the numbers that match what they've rolled, one at a time. So I rolled a 4, so I'm going to take away this 4 here, and I can see something from that picture. Let's zoom up a little bit. Now, I can now guess, or I can pass my turn to the next player if I don't want to, or I can draw again. Now, the other 4 is up here, so I'll take this one. Now, folks, I don't actually know what this picture is. I'm going to be trying to guess. But I do know that this arrow here shows what direction the picture is. So it's a horizontal one. If the arrow was pointing the other way, it would be a vertical picture. So I can't guess, so since I opened 2 doors, I will take 2 more chips. These chips can be used to guess on someone else's turn, if you want to. So the next person rolls, and they get a 1 and a 3, so they'll get rid of this 3 first. Is it an airplane? Oh, what is that? Looks kind of like a kite. Is something on fire? Maybe you guys know what this is. I don't know yet. So the next person goes. They get a 5 and a 6. Well, this 5 should clear things up. Oh, it's the London Tower Bridge. So I make a guess on my turn, and so we count how many ones are not uncovered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then reveal. All right, I got it right. So I get 7 crystals. All right, if I had been incorrect, I would have lost 7 crystals. So that's pretty easy. What you do then is when you're outside, you're going to put all these chips back on, and you can put these all on randomly, and then we'll just replace that picture. It's pretty easy. You just put this in here, like this, lift it up a little bit, and pull this out. Now, this one here, I can just put somewhere else. There is a picture on the other side of this, but I can save that for another one. So let's try one more before we get to my thoughts. I roll a 1 and a 1. There's the 1 and a 1. Do you have it yet? Well, that's interesting. That looks like water. Is it trees? A moon? A 1 and a 2. Now, since I did not roll, since there are no 1s left, I can take out any one I want. I'm going to take out this 5 here. Do you think that's candy? I'm going to go with, I still can't guess it yet, 5 and 4. Well, that 4 was no good. Let's try the 5. What is that? Is it a boat? A 1 and a 3. So I get rid of the 3 here. Seahorse. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to be. I didn't even follow my own arrow thing. The arrow was supposed to be like this. So a seahorse, I call it, and I'm correct. Now, if you think someone's called it wrong, you can pay them 2 chips on their turn to guess it yourself instead of them. And then you're correct. In this case, it's a 5-point swing. If you don't want to roll the dice, you can simply just take off any 2 you want. You don't have to roll the dice and pick the numbers. And there's some other variants, but they're basically just, you know, how many chips to pay and so forth. And you can see that there is a whole pile of papers in here. All of them are double-sided, and then this device sits on there like this. Well, anyway, after 10 rounds, whoever has the most chips is the winner of the game. So Macroscope has a really cool concept. It's done very well, and yet it's marred slightly by the fact that the scoring is just a little wonky. I understand what they're trying to do, right? The more holes that are covered, the more points you get if you guess. So someone could essentially just guess right away and hope they get lucky and near the end of the game because they don't have anything to lose. And that kind of can ruin the end of the game for some people. I almost wish that, that when there was a guess, you wrote your answer down as more of them were revealed. And then you could guess early and get more points that way, or you could guess later and get fewer points, but be more sure of your answer. The game with the discs, the gems, and handing them to other people when you're guessing on their turn, that's okay. The whole thing for me is just the fun of doing this. I almost want to do it solitaire, like turn them over, because the outside ones usually don't give you as much information. Those inside ones are usually pretty good, but you're not sure. The rolling the dice and using those to pick the numbers, I scrap that almost right away. Just let people pick any two. And you're like, I'll pick a middle one, but I might be giving too much information out to the other person. So I might pick an outside one and try to guess on their turn. And I found that worked better. I do think there's a lot of pictures in here. They're all black and white drawings. They're all done pretty well. It's very interesting to me to see sometimes how many holes have to be opened up before I got it. Now, you might have had both of those ones I showed you just like that. And, don't worry about me spoiling. I only showed you two. There's all a ton of pictures in this game. I believe there's 400. Let's double check on that. But the whole 200 double-sided cards, so that's 400 pictures. That's a ton of pictures. That gives this game a lot of replayability. You can even draw your own pictures, I guess. Anyhow, I do like the device. I like the concept of the game. It's not great, maybe. It's just a decently good, fun, interesting party game. I think it's one of those ones you bring out, people are like, oh, what's that? And you play it and almost just push away the scoring system, maybe, and just pull them off. And the first person to shout it out is the winner. That could also work. So, great concept. Slightly fumbled on the execution, but still turned out to be a cool game. That's Macroscope. Also, I love this cover. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!